Hey everyone, Sandy, the Badass Business Coach here, and thanks for being here, for listening, for investing in you, and yes, your success. So I am the Badass Business Coach and a DISC certified coach as I work with small groups and individuals about how to communicate more effectively and work more efficiently. And yes, that's what the DISC assessment is all about. And I do work with people a lot on team building to help them learn how to communicate and just work more in the community in the office. So, uh, and I have a Millionaire Mindset group coming up, and I'm really excited about that starting in July. And only 4 spots left for that. So, if you're interested, let me know. Right. So, today I really, really, really want you to think about three things and how you start your day, how you feel about your day at the end, and your life in general. Are you frustrated, stressed, and exhausted at the end of the day, or in the morning, even before going in? Are you bored, unfulfilled, even feel like the day is endless? Are you energized? You feel fulfilled, and are you more profitable about your business? Are you profitable in life? Right? Not everybody can feel good about their day and have money in the bank. That's a great thing. Just thinking about that. How does that feel to you? Which one resonates with you most? Obviously we all want to be number three, energized, fulfilled, profitable, right? But that's not always the case. Certainly wasn't the case for me before I became an entrepreneur, and there can be a mix of days, even a few days in a row. But for the most part, what, how do you feel on average? Sometimes we only focus on the shit days, right? The weather in California has been for shit. So everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about the clouds and the gray and the rain and marine layer and all this stuff. We're forgetting that, I'm sitting here in a tank top now. And, a month ago I was in a tank top. So it just depends on that, on your focus. So in business, a lot of times we tend to focus on what's going wrong. And, it can consume us. So if you're having challenges, maybe staff turnover, unhappy client, or unreasonable manager, maybe you're the unreasonable manager, that's probably what you're focusing on. So on average, how do you feel when you start your day? Are you excited and ready to get up and do it again? Or are you already thinking about, I wish that, is it 5 o'clock? Is it Friday? We've all said that. We've all been there. Actually, I have a friend that says that all the time. And, you know, sometimes I think she's joking and sometimes I really think she's serious. So, we want to make sure that you don't have to be in love with your day every day, in love with your job, your business, your company, your business partners, your staff every day. For the most part, how are you feeling when you start your day? How are you feeling at the end of the day? Sometimes it's just a day. There was maybe a ton of clients, a ton of people walked in at the same time, short staff. Maybe you had three deadlines hitting at the same time. It's easier to clean up after that kind of day. But if you're regularly feeling like number one or number two, frustrated, stressed, exhausted, bored, unfulfilled, and feel like you'd rather do something else, then especially if you're the owner in that leadership role, time to talk to somebody. I've had clients in go through every emotion possible over the years. And many times it really just is they need a mental break, a day off, a few days off, a vacation, you know, just time to check out for a little bit. And then there's times where it's bigger and we have to take a deeper dive into the business. And, you've got to recognize the symptoms. So that's what I'm trying to get you to think about today is how do you feel on a regular basis? What's going well, what's not going well. Again, as the type of leaders and business owners that we are, we're probably harder on ourselves. We tend to ignore the signals, right? The pain, the headaches, the exhaustion, the stress. We'll get over it when, right? I'll be okay when and fill in that blank. The problem is when is when. When are you going to get over it? How are you going to get over it, right? I've talked about and preached about if you're distracted and preoccupied, you're probably only working at 40 to 50%. How are you showing up for your clients, your staff? family, friends? Are you the friend that walks in and is like, oh, my day was so awful, blah, 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 this. They ever want to hear it? No, right? And how are you showing up for you? How are you giving yourself grace and the ability to be healthy mentally and physically? If you're snapping at your family, that's not good, or your friends. We've all done it, but are you recognizing it? Or has someone told you, hey, you're a little stressed out? I have a client who just told me he's going home and he's starting to snap at the kids, and that's not good. So I said, okay, let's talk about what's going on. You know, whether it's money, clients, all the above, you're just overloaded, too much work. For him, he has a lot of work, and people aren't paying as quickly as they should, right? We got to really dig into how can he switch things around, right? And then I have a client who's one of her staff people. Um, like other people came to her and said, yeah, so and so has been kind of stressed out a lot lately. She's been a little snippy, a little more direct than normal. So we talked about how she can go and talk with her and coach her. And because a lot of times you just don't notice that you're acting that way until someone tells you, but a lot of times too, you can feel it. You're tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to get up and go into the office or go get on calls and or do anything with your business. And that's not good, right? And with my client, the one that, oh, we had to have an intervention because he's snapping at his kids, not the intervention about the kids, but the one who's snapping at his kids. He and his staff and I had to have an intervention phone call because as I was talking to them and going back, and they were all saying the same thing but differently. And that's not good when you're dealing with customers because the end result is getting muddy, right? So, and then there are times where they do not see eye to eye on anything, and that's not good either. We had this phone call, and man, it got intense. It got heated. My arm was flailing, F-bombs were flying. My badass was out, and I hate when that has to happen, but sometimes it has to happen because no one is listening. And, sometimes those things have to happen so everyone can say what they need to say and get on the same page and move forward, right? At this point, not just my client, his whole staff is frustrated, exhausted, angry, ready to quit, right? They're beyond distressed. They're ready to throw in the towel, and that's not good. And it's hard. I get it. It's hard to stop when you've got customers, clients, people calling, coming in the door, emailing, texting, whatever it is, however they communicate with you. This is get crazy. But you've got to stop. You've got to pause for a second. But the thing you don't stop is communicating. You don't stop if you have regular weekly sales meetings or team lead meetings, whether they're monthly or however, don't stop because that communication needs to continue. That's what happens with he and the staff. They stop meeting because we're good, we're busy, we don't have time. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do, right? No, guess what? They didn't. And again, it's hard to stop and look around when you're crazy busy, but it's so much easier to run a business that has just minor rainstorms instead of trying to clean up after a tornado went through, right? Hopefully you agree. And, if any of that sounds familiar, please contact me, Sandy at sandyballard.com, or find a coach. If you're sensing any of those symptoms, the negative ones, frustration, overwhelm, boredom even, you know, don't want to be bored, especially if it's your company or you're a leader or you're just a staff person, but you're a key part of that business. You don't want to go in every day and feel unfulfilled. I used to say years ago, I would rather go be a worm farmer than endure one more day in that shitty environment was working in. I mean, disgusting, smelly, dirty. But really, that's what I would tell everybody. I'm going to go be a dirt farmer. So obviously, I was not in a good place physically, mentally, all that stuff, you know. And say you're listening to this and you're like, wow, maybe I used to be in that negative mindset or that frustrated, overwhelmed, and exhausted world. But now I wake up every day energized. fulfilled, maybe I'm profitable. Hopefully you're profitable. You got the first two things right. You know, if money is not a full-time stressor, that's freaking awesome, right? I mean, that's how I switched it around. I wake up every day in love with what I do. I wake up every day kind of bummed if I don't have a client meeting, right? You know, but if you're in that great, amazing space, I'm not going to rain on your parade, but I do caution people to pay attention. Like I said, keep meeting with your team leads, keep meeting with your staff, keep meeting with your business partners. All right. Don't just say we're all good and move on. You've got to keep meeting, keep talking because you never know when just one little thing is going to just kind of keep building and building and building and just knock you off course or piss you off, something like that. I personally love when I have a client session and they apologize because they don't have anything to talk about, but we find stuff to talk about. Or it's focused on family, something great with staff, a fun client, an amazing client. It, it's a myth that you have to be failing to have a coach. Not a myth. That coach either helped you get there in that good spot, in the good spot, and will help keep you there. There's going to be shitty days. There's going to be ones and twos. A lot of ones in business ownership. But you know what? Again, on average, how do you feel when you start the day? How do you feel at the end of every day? Maybe you start your day great and it ends up nasty, crappy, awful. And maybe it starts off like you don't really want to go, but you get there and you get into it and you're like, okay, you're re-energized, right? So if you're feeling like one or two, it's time to think about everything that's going on personally, professionally, because maybe something personally is happening and you're taking it to work. And it doesn't always have to be work going home, right? Look at your calendar. What meetings have you had? Have they been high stress clients or intense meetings, maybe about financial stuff, maybe about staff, too many deadlines at one time. Maybe you're busier than normal. Maybe you're not as busy as you usually are. Are you short staffed? How's the weather been? Like I said, people get seasonal depression. That's a real thing. What's the weather been like? And what have you maybe not been doing? Have you been not taking care of yourself? Have you not been working out, reading, getting your massages, playing golf? Have you seen your friends hanging out, doing fun stuff, but you're not? Or have you been missing out on some family time? Those are all the things you need to look at, regardless. 'Cause so if you've moved into that number three spot where you're feeling freaking awesome, that's great. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep building on it, but keep communicating and keep making sure you keep a handle on that. Strong boundaries, and strong, healthy habits, not necessarily, healthy habits like working out healthy and eating healthy. Good, strong habits and living the life of their dreams at the pool here, screeching. People hear that. Um, have fun, right? And if you're seriously interested in the group, it's going to be two meetings a month, one private and one group coaching. It's called the Millionaire Mindset Group. Go to my website, badassbusiness.coach, click on the link, apply. I'm only taking four more people. But otherwise, I look forward to hearing from you. What is going on in your world? Identify, you know, too many meetings, or maybe people are scheduling meetings for you and you need to learn how to block your time. Let me help you with that. Contact me, message me, do whatever you need to do. Let's make sure you're moving into that number three space and we're going to hold that number three space for you. So you're going to live a life of energy, full of energy, feeling fulfilled and comfortable. I look forward to hearing from you. Millionaire Mindset Group. Go to my website, badassbusiness.coach, or it's in my LinkedIn, my bio. I'm on Linktree and Instagram. Find me. You get there. Come on, join us. It's going to be fun. We're going to dig really deep. None of this I need to lose 5 pounds. None of this I need a couple more clients. We're playing big, people. I'm not playing, but we're going to play big, bigger than you've ever imagined or dreamt of. All right? Get with me. I look forward to hearing from you. Cheers.